Have you ever wondered if a modern sport tourer, like the Honda CB1000GT, can truly protect you from long-distance pain, hidden mechanical stress, unexpected heat, and the long-term electronic issues riders constantly fear? Or if the marketing gloss hides a machine that looks premium but behaves unpredictably when the miles start stacking up? The moment you first roll out on the CB1000GT, the bike immediately makes you question whether its GT label is a genuine promise of endurance and stability or just a badge. Honda hopes you won't challenge too hard, because the opening seconds reveal everything from the throttle sharpness to the engine manners to the vibration levels that determine whether this motorcycle will stay effortlessly composed on 400-mile days, or slowly wear you out without you even realizing it. And as the wind hits your chest and the seat meets your weight, you instantly know whether you're sitting on a refined grandeur built for real-world travel or on a machine that may surprise you with comfort compromises down the line. First ride impression deepens as the bike transitions from a smooth idle to a rolling pace, and the clutch feel alone starts revealing whether Honda tuned this for effortless commuting or if the engagement point hides a learning curve that becomes a nuisance in heavy traffic, while the throttle response exposes its true personality, with either clean, predictable power or sharp, jumpy reactions that can make low-speed riding more stressful than it should be. As you settle into the upright posture, you'll begin noticing minor details like wrist angle, elbow room, knee pinch area, and the sensation of weight distribution that tell you whether this bike is built for slow-speed city maneuvering or if it behaves like a big-bore machine that demands constant attention. And this early balance between stability and aggression becomes your first clue about how the CB1000GT will treat you on long days, challenging roads, and unpredictable riding environments. The moment you finally open the throttle and let the inline four breathe, the real testing begins as the engine's mid-range punch determines how confidently you can slice through highway traffic, accelerate out of corners, or execute last-second overtakes without second-guessing the bike's intentions. While the refinement or lack of etat, higher RPMs, tells you whether this motor is engineered for smooth touring or if it still carries the raw, slightly buzzy character typical of performance bikes. And the heat management becomes impossible to ignore as warm air starts building around your thighs and calves, forcing you to consider whether this bike will roast you in summer traffic or stay manageable even during slow touring stretches. Meanwhile, every subtle vibration through the bars and pegs whispers long-term comfort, secrets see there, promising relaxed, multi-day trips, or hinting that fatigue will eventually become inevitable on longer journeys. Handling dynamics become brutally honest the moment the road surface shifts from smooth to unpredictable, exposing whether the suspension truly absorbs the imperfections of real-world travel or if every expansion joint, pothole, and ripple transfers straight into your spine. And as you lean the CB1000GT into sweepers or tighter bends, the chassis begins showing whether Honda engineered a confident, planted feel, or if the bike becomes hesitant or top-heavy with luggage, extra weight, or uneven pavement. The front-end feedback becomes crucial for trust during higher-speed riding, revealing whether you'll feel connected to the asphalt or slightly disconnected when carving through twizzies, and the braking behavior from initial bite to deeper pressure tells you if the stopping power enhances confidence or starts raising subtle fears about fade, modulation, and emergency performance under real touring loads. Touring features begin revealing their truth as the windscreen either channels air smoothly, reducing fatigue and neck strain, or creates chaotic turbulence that becomes unbearable at highway speeds, and the seat that initially felt comfortable might start revealing hidden pressure points after an hour or two, making you question whether long-distance riding will be a pleasure or a slow punishment. The dashboard visibility under harsh sunlight matters more than expected because at 70 miles per hour, you can't afford to squint just to check speed or fuel range. In the ergonomic triangle seat bars, pegs begins to show whether Honda designed this machine for all-day endurance or only short bursts of comfort, while small practical details like storage options, tank shape for knee grip, and mirror clarity decide whether this GT is built for real cross-country journeys or just weekend posing. The deeper you explore the electronics, the more you uncover whether Honda's tech package is future-proof or quietly fragile. Its riding modes that shift the engine tone and throttle sharpness should feel seamless, but can unintentionally exaggerate jerky inputs if the mapping isn't polished, while traction control should intervene smoothly but may cut in too aggressively during spirited riding, making the bike feel guarded rather than empowering. Cruise control performance becomes a major factor on long highways, revealing whether it maintains steady speed or introduces small fluctuations that annoy the rider. And the user interface of the displayment navigation, responsiveness, layout, logic starts showing whether this bike will stay easy to operate for years or eventually feel outdated, glitchy, or unnecessarily complicated. raising long-term ownership questions about how well the tech will age as the miles accumulate. Ownership realities start creeping into your mind because a big bore tourer like the CB1000GT inevitably brings questions about how often you'll need valve inspections, how fast tires will burn down under aggressive acceleration, and whether insurance companies will place this in a high-risk category that makes premiums unexpectedly steep. Fuel consumption becomes a major point of truth, revealing whether long rides require constant refueling stops or if Honda achieved a sensible balance between power and efficiency. And you start analyzing service history trends of Honda engines to predict whether this platform will remain bulletproof for years or develop small, annoying issues like radiator leaks, sensor errors, or aging electronics that could quietly drain your budget over time. By the time the first ride ends, your evaluation becomes far more complex than a simple yes or no verdict, because the CB1000GT forces you to weigh its smooth power delivery, upright comfort, high-speed stability, and modern features against potential long-term maintenance costs, heat, behavior, electronic reliability, and ergonomic fatigue, making you question whether this motorcycle truly embodies the essence of effortless grand touring or if it exposes just enough compromises to make riders hesitate before committing, and the tension between excitement and uncertainty becomes the final hook, leaving you wondering whether this bike represents Honda's next great touring masterpiece or a beautifully executed machine that may still hide weaknesses waiting to surface only after the initial thrill wears off.